back to the Unlock a Life You Love podcast. My name's Dr. Tim Teel. I am the doc of Unlock here, helping you unlock a life you love with flourishing good health and expansive well-being. And to help us tell that story, I have a fascinating pair of people from New Zealand, all the way from the bottom of the world, Dragan and Sasha Petrovic, and they have a fascinating story to tell. Sasha was diagnosed 9 years ago with a very aggressive breast cancer, and they would like to share their story of her recovery. How did you guys deal with this? Here's this lovely lady here 9 years later after an aggressive breast cancer diagnosis, and I'm just going to let you guys tell your story about when you were diagnosed and the path that you were on. So I'm just going to let you tell your story. Dragan, Sasha, welcome.
First of all, I would like to thank you, Dr. Tim, for your incredible work. And our mission is similar. And we generally appreciate the work you are doing to help others on their healing journeys. And it is an honor to be here and to share our experience with you.
Thank you.
Same for me. All thanks and great work you are doing as well in this world. So I'm Alexandra Sasha, an agile coach at University of Auckland, New Zealand, a mother of two and a wife. And I got 9 years old, very hard diagnosis for myself, invasive breast cancer, grade 3 out of 3, which is very aggressive form, and triple positive, meaning positive for estrogen, progesterone, and HER2. At first, the doctors gave me this information. I didn't know much more about it, but then their prognosis was not well, and especially even after surgery, when they didn't find and pick anything in my lymph nodes, we were happy for a moment, but then we decided to go deeper and check our blood in Germany, a specialized lab, and that first blood result showed that I had 500 circulating tumor cells in my 1 milliliter of blood, so where normal is less than 5. So, and then you can imagine how that diagnosis was even more terrible. I mean, devastating, and predictions were very bad and poor, and I understood then why doctor was rushing me at that time to do chemo and radiation and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, that is my story, and I would like to share with you everything I went through.
So what did you do? You underwent surgery, and did you have chemo and radiation and all the rest of that?
No, I had only surgery, and then we decided that we will try for a while a holistic path and see how it is going. So because of that blood test could help us to track, are we on the right track or not? And then we decided to go there. I mean, it was not easy decision at all. It was filled with fear and anxiety and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, we decided because we had quite a poor situation. I mean, previous past stories. My mom died from all sorts of side effects of chemo and radiation and all treatments. And our best friend died as well, and he was very young and very, very healthy person.
So you got this diagnosis, you got your surgery. This was in 2000 and what, 15, 2016?
15.
2015. And so you had your surgery. They removed what they could of the cancer, but you knew after that surgery that there were still cancer cells that were circulating in your bloodstream, according to this test that you got. So
Yes.
what did you do next?
Maybe I can jump.
I wish you would.
I was a little bit like how to say on the side, and she was frozen, and she was just gave up. On this moment she thought that's the end. And to be honest, only 1 month she didn't have any possibility to make any decision or to think or nothing. And then I saw that, and I started doing research. What else is possible? Do we have some other option? And I try to ask every single person who can have any connection for both sides. Doesn't matter is holistic or this modern medicine. I want to know everything, and to be sure we will make the right decision. And on this moment, yes, this research was confusing. It's a lot of information, and especially I was, to be honest, I was in fear as well. I was scary, but I thought I'm less scary than she is, and that's my duty on this moment to do research and to do all of this. And then when we have all of this information, I make like a little bit simple for her, and then we choose, okay, we will try. We will just see in some period, and if it's working, if it's not working, this path what we choose, we can come back. We didn't think we need to rush with decision, and that was this first, how to say, this first step.
Mm-hmm. Good. And so what was your first step? What did you decide to do?
To heal my body.
Good
And
decision.
yeah, I mean, to try understand why it happened first. And
And what was the conclusion that you came to? Why do you think this happened?
I think now, when we are looking back, it's from trauma, unresolved trauma and stress. That was the main cause, I think. And because of that, and all sorts of duties I had at that time, and the way how I was dealing with life, emotionally, physically, in all sorts of ways, really pushed me into the situation that I became exhausted. I was mother of three. I mean, a boy who had three at that time, and girl 13, teenage girl. So I'm working full time and giving everything to everyone. So then I depleted my body fully. And tests were showing that I didn't have enough minerals and vitamins. So that was first result we got. And then I decided to change everything, so many things. Like I started with very practical stuff, changing diet.
And what changes to your diet did you make?
We decided to take a whole food options and not so strict diet, because I was revisiting. My diet was not so bad even before, so I didn't want to be even harsh or more harsh on myself with some rigorous dieting. So I did basic stuff, reduced all processed food, all sugars, and those really basic steps, and then start actually adding more superfoods like broccoli and green leaves, food, and more nuts, turmeric, gingers, berries, all sorts of good stuff, healthy stuff to boost my immunity. And then I started taking a lot of supplements. So it was really a must by a lot of holistic doctors, naturopaths. They all advised me, you need to go and improve that part. And yeah, that was that first setup and start. Then I go into detox, a different type of detoxing, from breathing, taking pure spring water, walking barefoot, really enjoying myself, and all sorts of very simple, cheap stuff, spending time in nature more and more. And yeah, that was my start, pretty much. And love and laugh. I think that I received huge support from my husband, and that was amazing.
Right. did you do any other emotional work?
Yeah, yeah, of course. But
So tell me about that.
it took me a while. Honestly, I didn't start immediately with emotional work. I was not at that space at that time. So we start first with that practical stuff and lighter stuff. And then with time, I figure out that there are a lot of practices like yoga, tai chi, qigong that help me to relieve some of my emotions, tapping techniques, meditation, all sorts of wonderful techniques. And then I started releasing my emotions. I stored them deep, deep down. It was a lot of crying later on, a lot of revolutionary findings that I was storing so many things in myself and healing. So, and that trauma because my mother-in-law committed suicide just 6 months prior to my diagnosis, and that was the big one. I couldn't even figure out how big impact that situation had to my body.
Right. So what did you learn about you in this process?
Oh, it was very, very good learning journey, and sometimes a little bit cruel because I managed to find that I am such a perfectionist. I was trying to do everything right and to be everything for everyone. So that's really didn't give me a space to be myself. So that was my biggest learning, I think. I was hiding from myself for years.
Interesting. Dragan, what did you learn?
Uh, First of all, I start understanding myself because uh, I start realizing if I want to help her, I need to grow as well because I found I was the some kind of problem as well. I was in this together like when she got this cancer, and that was very tough for me to understand on the beginning. We first blame some others and we try to blame some something like, for example, we have two wars in our country before that, and moving to New Zealand. All of this make a lot of stress. Starting in New Zealand from the beginning, English was not is not good for start for us. We didn't know very well what sometimes it was a big limiting beliefs for myself. But I said, okay, I want to help her. I need her. I need her beside my children. I know how much she's mean for me, how much I love her. But I found, yes, I need to grow. And then I start changing something for myself, small changing. And I want to put a lot of love and some positivity. Even I was joking on the beginning, that's the best thing what happened to us. She said, please don't tell that others. They will think you want to get rid of me. I said, no, really, I read somewhere and I found that's something good because you will change yourself. You will not be anymore stuck in this kind of setup in your mind. And I think this is some kind of freedom what is coming. And to be honest, I always send this message and this message comes. I think now we really believe that's the best thing for us. I don't want to say that's for everyone. Of course, a lots of people suffering for this and a lots of people dying around the world. But for us, that was the best things what happened because we changed a lot. We found again some love what we lost. And yes, that was my how to say founding in this journey.
Right. Well, no, the reason that we wanted to bring you onto this podcast is to add your voice to the conversation about what everyone is starting to learn about some of these devastating things that happen to us in our life, whether it is trauma, whether it is a diagnosis, whether it, regardless of what it is becoming vividly obvious to those who are paying attention that that there's more going on with these physical bodies here than simply living and dying, and that we have a tremendous amount of control over our experience and over these physical bodies. And the operating system for these physical bodies is it's not written in stone, it's changeable. And the things that we experience affect these physical bodies. The emotions that we experience affect these physical bodies in profound ways. And it takes courageous people like we're seeing here to demonstrate what happens when we take radical control over those emotional experiences of life. What happens when we take radical control over the food, the energy that we're putting into these bodies, and what happens. And so you had surgery, you had proven experience of cancer cells, tremendous number of cancer cells that were coursing through your veins. You had no chemotherapy, you had no radiation because you'd seen other members of your family and friends and so forth suffer tremendous injuries and even death from such things. And you took off on this crazy path, crazy things. You actually said the food that I eat and the thoughts that I think might be the path to creating a healthy body. Do I have you correct?
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
darned. And what's crazier yet is that you're not alone. If you go back and listen to some of the other podcasts that we've created here, and a number of people all over the world, they're starting to recognize that the food we eat, the thoughts we think matters tremendously. And in order to help everybody else understand that, you guys went out and wrote a book, didn't you?
Yes, that was how to say, even going outside of my comfort zone, because writing a book on English was even not in my dream. But this my wish to help others and to show them everything is possible was stronger than this my limitation of English. And we have this technology to help a little bit with this writing and everything. And I said, I want to put my ego to show myself like perfect outside. I want just to help people. I just want to send a message. And even if one person can find something what is can help them to just release this fear on the beginning, because on the beginning we talk with a lot of people after she healed herself, and a lot of people just have this fear and they don't want to try anything. They just gave up. And my book is like something what is giving hope for people. Yes, you can try, you can see, you can start do research, you can do something for yourself. And if you try, everything is possible. I'm calling this like magic. Everything is possible. Just we need to open our mind and be open to find something and to learn. And what we will decide what path we will do, that's okay. Everything is okay what we decide, but we need to know both sides. And unfortunately, this both side is not available. Thank you for doing this podcast and sharing, because that can help a lot of people to find a little bit more information about
Well,
this.
that's the whole point. And with all due respect, I'm going to argue with you. I'm going to take an opposing view. I do not believe that you have created magic here. What I believe that you've done is to discover the truest nature of who we are. It appears to be magic. In 1902, flying machines were magic. Okay. Even though we'd watched birds do it for a long time, for us to do it in a machine was magic. Okay. It was a miracle. In 1903, we understood that it was simply air moving over a curved wing that creates lift. Okay. And what you and what many other people like you, including patients that I have taken care of, I've got a friend of mine that we did the podcast, John Bygraves. I don't know whether you had the opportunity to watch John's
Yes.
story. He's incredible. Um, but everybody's saying the same thing, and there becomes a pattern of behavior here that says, "Hey, look, this isn't magic. this is the truest nature of who we are. No, we are spiritual beings having a human experience here, and it's our job to discover and to begin to manipulate the energy, the spiritual energy that is us. Okay. And what you're doing is demonstrating that that our emotions have a big effect. The food we eat has a big effect. And you are your own little controlled randomized trial, and you randomized yourself to the control group and said, oh, we're not really a control group. We're going to do something different. We just aren't being recognized as real science. So there's something higher. It's called being a real person, okay, and having a real human experience. And so I don't think what you're doing is magic. Okay, what no the story that these people are telling is not magic. It is the truest essence of who we are as human beings, and this is how we evolve. This is why I am so excited to be alive at this time and place, and you guys should be too, is that this is the great awakening of our entire civilization. And if that sounds like overstatement, read the book and read it. What's it called, Dragan? It's
from fear to freedom.
From fear to
But I
freedom.
need to mention it's still not live. I still need to do this polishing and editing, and I'm working on this. And
put it on your to-do list, for crying out loud. Get the book and read it, okay? Because these guys are not alone, okay? What they're doing is important and worth listening to, because here's this lady, this gorgeous lady, 9 years after a diagnosis with blood tests and all the rest of the stuff to prove, hey, listen, we had this horribly aggressive cancer. Yes, we did the surgery. We didn't do any chemo and radiation because we were afraid of that stuff. Okay. And so we picked a different route. So did we reject Western medicine? No, of course not. We didn't reject Western medicine. We worked in conjunction with Western medicine and brought the internal resources that you have to the table. Instead of all the power being outside of you, you realized something incredibly important. Where's the power, Dragan? Where's the power?
It's in our mind and our brain, and
it's inside.
It's
inside. Is it inside just you?
No, everyone
exactly.
have inside. Everyone
Thank
have
you.
Power. Yes.
Thank you for having the right answer.
Yes, that's true. I totally agree with you. Yes, we all have power, but so many times our life hiding this and make a lots of wall, and that's as well I'm writing in my book, like just to realize we have this power to do everything, and we have this power to heal ourselves. It doesn't matter that's cancer, any kind of problems we can do when we open ourselves and we start doing a little bit more research, and baby step. That's most important, because a lots of people want to do everything immediately, and we found this small step we're doing, and we're still doing, and we're still learning, and we're still on this path, like finding something new, something what is can even more improve our life, and that's give us knowledge to help others with more things what that can make easier for them to find the answers, because that's the biggest point.
So what are those baby steps, Dragan? Let's feed these people just a little bit. What are the baby steps that if they were sitting in Sasha's in Sasha's shoes, what should we do?
For example, I want to start, for example, our physical body is the first. Yes, emotional and this kind of mindset is very important. And for me, that's the 90%, even more. But when our physical body is not in good shape, that's blockage even our emotional and our mindset. And we start doing this small step, like even if you try to do like in the morning, only 1 or 2 minutes, some exercise. I start doing, for example, together with Sasha, like a cold shower in the morning. That's like, it's nothing like something big and something what people can't do. Just they need to think how much that can improve. Of course, they need to do research, what's they doing in their body, how much this cold shower actually wake up our lymph system and our healing, and how much we get more energy, and how much this energy is important for us. And that's like all of these small steps, day by day, start a new pattern in our lives. And then we add something more. Then we add a little bit more. And that's what I found. Usually when we talk with people, people want immediately something big, some magic pills, and that can help. I said, no, just doing a little bit adjustment, and you will find your body will tell you you are on the good path. You don't need to listen to anyone, even me or some other people. Just listen to your body, and you will see with this small step how you improve your health, how you improve your power, your energy, everything. And then you will be happy to search more, to learn more, and to do more.
Right. Exactly. Small steps. So, so cold showers kill cancer, huh?
Yes, we can find, because our immune system start working much better. And our immune system, we all have cancer cells every day produced. People don't realize that. But our immune system, when it's strong, they find them and they make our body clean. And this cold shower actually boosts our immune system. And we can say, yes, that's killing cancer as well. Cancer cells.
No, listen, if we only understood the power of cold water, it would change the world. It's really funny you should mention that, because just this last week, I've actually gotten my kids, my wife, and my mother-in-law to start dunking their face in ice cold water, for just a few seconds. My mother-in-law did that. She took a long car trip. She said that was better than like 3 cups of coffee. It was unbelievable. And we can't get her to stop now. She is all over it. So, just cold exposure. It's unbelievable. There's a guy out there by the name of Wim Hof. Maybe we'll have him here on the show someday. He's been preaching this for a long, long time. And it's so incredibly unpleasant the first time you do it. And it is so refreshing when it's all done. That it just blows your mind. And so if you don't want to do a cold shower, I would tell people, just get a big basin, fill it, put some ice in it and fill it with water, let it sit for a little bit, and just shove your face in it. It will change your life. But the most important thing is just exactly what he said. It's not that one thing. It's the fact that it made a shift. And when you feel a shift happen, it makes you want to do another shift. And another one after that, and another one after that. It's tiny steps that start moving us towards something huge. Okay, so
Exactly.
what do you think the second small step people ought to make is?
I think it is, connection with themselves. So, but that is coming maybe slower. But I honestly saw that I didn't listen to my body at all for years, and that's how I ended up with that hard diagnosis. So many people are so in their thoughts and every day just thinking and doing stuff without actually feeling their emotions properly and handling them. Realizing that they are there and they can be stored if we are not approaching them. So some meditation practices or doing some Tai Chi, yoga, different sorts of meditation, even walking barefoot in the nature. It is amazing. Or going into ocean and really surrounding or see whatever they are, or forest shower, forest walk is amazing. So those simple stuff are very good, but if we do them regularly, so we cannot do them for just once a year and to have any good results. It is important that we do regularly every day. 5 minutes maybe of meditation, stretching, exercise, reflection, self-love. So that is very, very important stuff to start with.
And gratitude.
You just gave me like 14 things to work on, Sasha. I asked for one. But you're singing off my song sheet, sister. You're doing great. No, listen, a little cold exposure, a tiny bit of meditation, take your shoes off, walk in the dirt, get outside, hug a tree, be surrounded by you're saying the same things over and over and over again that we're hearing from all kinds of people in the community who've had similar situations to you and similar outcomes. The guy that changed my life was an old man who walked into my practice, and he had a problem. I got a camera stuck down his throat, and you said you had a history of cancer here, but you didn't tell me what kind, and you just had cancer. I'm like, I kind of need to know what's going on. He said, well, I had esophageal cancer, and I said, oh, that's kind of bad. I said, when was this? He said, which time? I said, excuse me? You had it more than once? He said, yeah, they cut it out of me. It came right back. And I said, when was this? You still haven't told me. He said, 35 years ago. I said, what? I said, listen, I'm board certified ear, nose, and throat surgeon. I understand the pathology and the statistics and all the rest of the stuff. I said, with all due respect, you've been dead for like 34 years. He said, yeah, I know. I was a trained journalist in another lifetime. Okay. And I know a story when I hear one, and I'm like, this is a story. What the heck did you do? And you know what he told me? The same crap that you just did. He said, no, I made a decision. He said, I decided not to fight cancer. And I said, well, that's weird. Why would you do that? It sounds like giving up. He said, no. He said, I decided not to fight. He said, close your eyes and imagine something for me. And I said, what? He said, imagine you're sitting alone in a room and a guy walks in the room. He shuts the door behind him. He turns around. You realize in that moment that you're going to have a fight with this guy. I'm like, this is not a nice picture. He said, no, but he said, answer me one question. He said, did the guy get bigger or did he get smaller? And I'm like, crap, he got bigger. He said, that's right. And he said, I don't want my cancer to get bigger. So I decided I wasn't going to fight. I'm like, interesting. Is that all you did? He said, no. I said, what else did you do? He said, I decided to accept things as they were. He said, when they cut it out of me a second time, he said, I pretty much, I knew I was toast. He said, I decided that this was going to get me. It was going to turn my wife into a widow, my children's into orphans, and it was going to take me away from the work that I loved. So I just decided to accept that as it was. He said, something amazing happened in that moment. He said, there was a sense of peace that came over me that I cannot explain. And he said, that was really neat. He said, I liked it. I said, so you decided not to fight cancer and you just accepted things the way they were. Yeah. I said, is that all you did? He said, no. I said, well, what else did you do? Okay. I'm like talking to Sasha here, and all of a sudden milking and finally all that comes out. He said, what I did was I said, first of all, I don't tell a lot of people about it because I didn't want them to think I was weird. And I said, what do you care if people think you're weird? He said, I was a pastor for 40 years. He said, quite unfortunately, what people think matters. He said, so I didn't tell a lot of people what I did. And I said, well, what'd you do? He said, you realize you're the only doctor in 35 years that ever asked me that, right? And I said, well, I'm a little different breed of cat, but no, but yeah. So what did you do? He said, well, he said, I closed my eyes. I sat down in a chair 2 or 3 or 4 times a day. I closed my eyes and I imagined sending that cancer love.
Yeah. That's actually what I was doing as well. So, but it came a little bit differently to me. I mean, everyone has their own experience and connection. But I figure out after doing all sorts of research, because cancer cells are part of us, and we cannot eliminate them or fight against our own stuff, our own body, our own cells. So some cells are like that, and they are designed, definitely, I believe, with purpose, and they are there with purpose. So I didn't want to fight something which has their own purpose, and it's part of me.
So Sasha, I have a really important question. Is cancer the enemy?
I don't think so. I don't believe in that statement. I mean, Maybe
Should
it
we
is.
fight it?
No, I am not fighting. I'm not fighting anything. So I'm really living in harmony with myself. And that is the only thing. And cancer did some sort of task, how to say, in my body, that I got to this realization that I was not living a life fully and that I need to change
Would it be
and
fair to
help
say
me.
that cancer was a messenger?
Yes,
Yes.
fully messenger, right messenger in the right time to make me awake of everything else I was missing in my life. Just doing what is expected from everyone or from others, not really that connection with myself or staying on my path, which is completely different from I actually meant it's my path. So then I start realizing what is my purpose, what is the life, what is everything around me. And cancer is not an enemy. Cancer just disappeared, and all other results showed that cancer started disappearing when I start loving myself more.
Oh, you said a mouthful there, didn't you? Hey, if people want to learn more about you guys and want to learn more about your story, how do we get a hold of you? How do we find you?
We have a website, healthylife.nz, and we are hoping
For
that
everybody in the United States, that's healthylife.nz.
yes,
I love
okay,
you.
that NZ, okay, sorry.
Healthylife.New Zealand or .nz or nz or however you want to say
Yeah.
it. But no, but I want to make sure that
Yes.
people can find you. So
Thank
healthylife.nz is where you find Dragan and Sasha, beautiful people. Thank you so very much for coming on here and telling your story and adding your voices to this beautiful message of how we create flourishing good health and expansive emotional well-being. Dragan, Sasha, thank you so much for being here today. We're gonna
Thank
you.
we're gonna shut
you.
things down. We I promised everybody to keep these stories relatively short so we could digest them in small pieces. But no, thank you so much for joining us here on the Unlock a Life You Love podcast. My name's Dr. Tim Teel. I am the Doc of Unlock, and we'll see you next time.